In this video, we are going to learn about how do we run a simple regression and how do we form a basic equation which is y is equal to something x plus constant, which is y is equal to linear regression like we have seen in the first video was y is equal to 4x plus 50. This was the equation which was in the form of y is equal to mx plus c, where y is called as dependent variable, x is called as independent variable, m is called as slope, and c is called as intercept. Okay, now we will try to figure it out how do we run the regression on the data set which is given to us. So we'll again go to data, we'll go to data analysis. Now there is called as regression. So we click on OK. Now let's understand this one by one. So it is asking input y range. So I'll select this y range because we need in the equation in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. So then it will ask input x range. We have provided the x range. The labels are part of my data selection. So I will click on I have the labels. Okay. And I have three output functions. One is output range or new worksheet or a new workbook. So I will simply click new workbook, okay, or new worksheet. Okay, new worksheet location is not given, so we can probably give a location or it will automatically create it. Residual plots, we will explain in a moment. So we'll click on all the residual plots and normal probability plots, which we don't require at this point in time, but we will however select and we will click on OK. Once I do that, it creates a new sheet which is a sheet 1. So this is regression output, and it gives us the output of the entire regression with the graphs. Okay, and then there's some data which has been given to us. We will see what this data means. However, this is how you should run the regression, which is plain and simple. So you click on the data analysis, you click on the regression, you click OK, you provide your y range, you provide the x range, that you have to decide that what is your y and what is your x. That decision is yours. Then you provide new worksheet, residuals, normal probability, and click OK. You can have the output range in the same worksheet by providing the location like we have done in the descriptive statistics. Okay. Now I'll cancel this obviously, and because we have already done that, which is a regression output over here, and given some output which is a regression statistics ANOVA, and the main is the equation part of it. Okay. However, uh, many of you will have a question. Here it's x and y it is given. What do we do if it's not given, and what we have to choose? Okay, so I will give a couple of examples over here. Now when you decide to buy a car, okay, what all factors do you see? Okay, so you obviously, some of you will say that when you decide a car, when you decide to buy a car, so let me write it here. Okay, I will rather delete this. This is some old data, so I will delete this. Okay, 1 second. Okay, yeah. So let's say you decide to buy a car. What all things you will look at? So some of will you say the mileage or price is one factor, size is another factor, petrol or diesel is another factor, maintenance is another factor, so and so forth. Okay. Now your decision of buying a car depends on these variables. Okay. You don't buy a car thinking that it will give you higher mileage. That's a wishful thinking. Okay, but you don't buy a car thinking that mileage will be this. You are sure that mileage is this, and you are going to buy that car. It's vice versa is not true. So let's say you buy an Alto and you are very sure that it will give you 20 as a mileage or 15 as a mileage, but let's say you buy an Audi, okay, but you want a mileage of 15. Okay, so you can't modify your Audi so that it gives a mileage of 15. Okay, so your decision of buying a car is dependent on these variables. So your car is a dependent variable and your other values are called as independent variables. Alright, though these variables are interlinked, or maybe size is high then price is higher, but it's not like that you decided a car and then you decide a price. You decide a price and then you decide to buy a car. So you decide a range, price range. So let's say you want to buy a car from 5 to 10 and then you decide which car you want to buy. So it's not like you want to buy an Audi and then you decide a price. Okay, let's go to a dealer and then you will pay them 15,000. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so that's the difference between the dependent variable and independent variable. That's what I wanted to you to understand. Okay, however, regression, how do we do a regression? You go to a data analysis, you click on the regression, you click OK, you provide input y range, x range, you provide the labels if the labels are already a part of a range, you provide where do you want your output, you click on the residual chart, normal probability chart, and simply click on OK. Okay, now you go to a regression output, which is over here. It has regression statistics, ANOVA, and the regression dependent equation with the probability and residual output, which we have already seen. Okay, now we are going to look at the regression statistics output and the coefficient output. The first thing which is important is what is the equation. So we are more worried about this equation, which is y is equal to mx plus c. So your equation, you will find it from here. I will mark it as yellow. Your equation is y is equal to m. M was what? M was slope. Okay. So over here, the coefficient of x is 0.68, or it can be called as point. Instead of slope, you can call it as a coefficient. So it's 687767229 multiplied with x plus c was your intercept. Over here the intercept is given, so it is plus 1.411778894. This is the equation of your intercept. So your equation is y is equal to mx plus c. Now what does this equation signify? Okay, so let's say I want to forecast what is going to be the value of y if the value of x is 120. Then I simply put this in equation. So this multiply with this plus c, and this is the value of x, assume. Okay, this is your equation which is over here. Okay, this is your value of x which you are going to put it, and this is your output or value of y, okay, which you are going to input x. So if I put x as 120, my y would be 83.94 depending on this equation which we have got using the historical data. Okay, if my value of x is 150, then my value of y is this. So this assume y is to be a revenue, x is to be a sale of products. So if I sell 45 products, my revenue is 33. If it is 90, then 72, 31, and 19. So we can also form a graph of this. If we form a graph of this line graph, okay, so this is moving in a tandem. Okay, so it goes up, it goes up, it goes down, it goes down, it goes up, it goes up, it goes down, it goes down. So it's like that. If it's 150, it's 104.4. Okay, it's 200 value of x, then again the value of y will increase. Okay. Now, to what extent the value increases is given by this r square. Okay. So we are more worried about this r and r square rather. So this first multiple r, which is called as correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient means higher the value of correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient moves between -1 and 1. Higher the value, higher the related. So over here it's exactly or almost moves in a tandem. It goes up, the second value goes up, it goes down, goes down. It's not exactly 1. Okay. So it's 0.92. You can find a value of correlation like this also. So there is a formula which is CORREL. You take the value of y, or you take the rather value of x. Okay, take the value of x and take the value of y, and you close the bracket. You will get the same value as this 0.9229. So this is a coefficient of correlation. There is a high correlation between two variables. All right. Then there is something called as r square. R square means how effectively, how effective rather your equation is. This basically means this: whatever equation you have identified, how accurately or how closely you can find out the value of y. So it's more, if it's more than zero point 0.8 or rather 80%, then in a finance world it is considered as good. Sometimes it's even 70%. Okay, so over here it's 0.86 or 86%. And 200, so which is 86%. Okay, if it's 86%, that means if you put a value of x, this 86% and your y is accurate to an extent of 86.34%. Okay, so there is obviously a chance that your value of y will be incorrect, but 86.34% of the times your value of the y would be correct. That's the main premise of r square. Adjusted r square, I am not going into it because it's a part of multi-collinearity. We are not going to that premise. Standard error again is the error of the sample, which you already seen in the sample statistics. This error which we have got, and observations, there are 11 observations. Okay. uh, so that's how the basic interpretation of the linear regression goes. In the subsequent videos, we will also look at ANOVA and how do we do the residual output and the probability output as well. All right. Thank you.